Welcome to Loving Me Before I Love You with Tammy Nicole, the podcast dedicated to you loving and putting yourself first. Others have come first in your life for years, and you know it's time for that to change. You're about to be empowered to set healthy boundaries, confidently have hard conversations, unapologetically put yourself first, and live the peaceful life you deserve. Remember, self-love is essential, and loving yourself sets the stage for every other love in your life. So get ready to embrace self-love like never before with your host, Coach Tammy Nicole.
Hey, welcome to Loving Me Before I Love You. It is Transformation Tuesday, and we always like to transform your life. We talk self-love over here all the time, but y'all know I always got a little twist and a little spin with it. And today's episode is about friendship. Friendship goals. How are we building? How are we building them? Are we building them strong? Are we building them weak? Are we building them with lasting bonds? And so I just kind of want you to sit and ponder and think about the friendships that you actually have in your life today. How did you build them? Did you build them with a goal in mind? Did you let them happen organically? Or did you have a direction of intention for those relationships? Friendships are not easy. They're not always like, oh my God. Sometimes you have riffraff, right? Are you waiting till you get on that girls trip for your relationship to fall apart? Because you know that's where they say it happens. Are you waiting for that man to come into your life and now this friendship falls apart? Like, what has been your actual intention for the relationship you're in? Now, y'all know I don't talk by myself because, you know, I love to have guests. I have a guest with me. Her name is Morgan. And let me tell y'all something. When we was talking, because y'all know I talk before I get on the air. When we were talking and I asked her a little question, I'm just going to say her response was she has unconditional understanding and love for people. Unconditional understanding and love for people. So y'all know that stopped me right in my tracks because I'm like, wait, what? But I want to say welcome to the show, Morgan. I'm excited that you're here, that you're joining me. And I can't wait to get into it.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. I cannot wait to get into it.
Oh, my goodness. So, y'all, we talking about friendship goals. And I think as a whole, if we were to really define what is a friend, you know, most of us are going to say something like, oh, somebody just got my back. Somebody I can tell all my secrets to. Somebody that, you know, is going to always be there for me, and et cetera, et cetera. But really, what is a friend?
Yeah.
I want y'all to think about it as we talk, but we're going to dive deep. And I'm going to let Morgan tell us what her definition of friendship is before we get started.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Coach Tammy, for having me here. I'm so excited to talk about this topic. And I think when it came up, I was so excited to see it because I was like, I'm a girl's girl. And once I have a friend, I always say I don't lose friends. I don't lose friends. And I think a friend for me, it is somebody that can have your back. But I really love, one thing I love about the friendships that I have, we don't have to talk every day. I don't have to see you all the time. I don't, it's like the understanding part that we have lives. But then when we do see each other, it's like we never missed any time. And this is so important to me because of my friend group, my core friend group. I've had them since elementary school. People always say, what? And I'm talking about kindergarten. I'm talking about, I went to literally this weekend, I was in Atlanta and I saw a friend of mine. She had moved to Korea for like 6 years. Right. So of course I didn't see her then because I didn't go to Korea, and she just came back recently, and she came home to Virginia, which is where we're from. And I didn't get a picture with her. When I saw her, I texted her and said, hey, I didn't get a picture. I need to meet you. She was like, Morgan, I'm leaving tomorrow. We're going to miss the picture. I went to Atlanta this weekend and I got my picture. Understand? Now I've had this friend since elementary school. This
Wow.
I'm describing this because friendship to me is just that whatever the feeling was that made me feel like I needed to get that picture, and it was top priority for me to get that picture because I haven't seen you in 6 years, and then when I did see you, we forgot. So let me make sure when I'm in Atlanta, where you live, I'm gonna make sure. I met her at BJ's, so I could get a picture in the parking lot. Okay, that's how much I love my friend and how much she loves me. So when I don't know if there's a true, like I can give you one description of what I think friendship is, but it looks like that. It looks like we've been friends for a long time, but there is substance to the friendship. You know, it's not just that I've been your friend
Substance.
for 6 years. There's
Substance.
substance to the friendship.
I think a lot of times, when you say a friend, like growing up, right? I grew up with this philosophy. There's associates,
Yeah,
there's friends,
yeah,
and there are people who are family,
yeah,
even though they don't have that same bloodline, right?
yeah,
And I think it's always been what I call a gradual progression through the stages. I always used to say that I wanted to be the person that didn't have friends, that only had family. So I wanted to start off in the associate realm, getting to know a person, et cetera. Then I want you to graduate and become my friend, somebody that I'm like, oh, I'll go hang out with you. I can talk to you about, this, that, and the third. But what I really, really want is for you to graduate and be family, where it's like this bond is solid. It's unbreakable. It don't matter what you do. We're going to eventually work it out.
I like that.
Talk it out. Figure it out. That's what I like. That was like what I saw as a teenager in my mind of how these friendships are supposed to progress and grow. Now you become an adult and you realize that's not always going to be true.
Yeah.
And that you're going to have people that stay in a friend category. But for me, it's like when you think about the people you kind of grew up with as friends or what have you, it's like, okay, they no longer really associates, but are they? Like, I don't talk to them like that. I know, the general surfaces of their, let's just say their teenage lives, but we graduate from high school and you went on about your business, and we didn't really stay in real connection, but social media has allowed us to stay connected.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, but did you matriculate backwards because we didn't keep in contact on that real personal level, or do we keep you on the friend level? I think that's like a big thing, right?
Friend level, but you're not really being a friend. Yeah, yeah. But what are the things that you think? What's the evidence of being a friend? Because that might look different for everybody.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so it might be for some people, it's like, the situation I just described, right? You show up in big moments like that, or you just, really show that you love somebody in a way that resonates with them. And then I don't have to talk to you for 3 or 4 years and I still think you're my friend, or is it someone that you have to talk to every day? They have to be at everything. If they miss, your child's recital, they're no longer your friend. It's different for everybody.
I agree that it is different for everybody. I think when you describe your friendship and needing that picture, for me, that wasn't a friend, that was family. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I feel like it was deep enough. If you made those levels and those strides to make sure something like that took place, that's family. That ain't friendship to me. You know what I mean? Friends, are like people who I love you dearly. I check on you for sporadic things. Like, I'm definitely going to call you on your birthday. If you have a party, I'm going to probably try to show up. We talk about life. I won't say surfacey, but I will say in generals and not details. You know what I mean? So we may say, how you say you like that.
Yeah. It's like I give you just enough.
I give you just enough. I'm going to give you the generals. I'm going to say how people are doing. I'm going to, oh yeah, we went to so-and-so, 2 weeks ago, but I'm not going to be telling you I had an argument with my man and
Yeah.
these are the details of this argument, or, I'm struggling with my own self-worth and I just need to shake me, make me see where I'm tripping. I'm not going to tell you that. But we friends, I'm only going to, and that's just, of course, my own little definition of what that looks like. And I agree. Everybody's looks different. But I think you got to be a friend before you can say you have friends.
So that was going to be my question for you is how much would you give in a situation like that? Because you got to give, like you said, you got to be a friend, right? If you want to
Yeah.
have a friend, I feel like
Yeah.
in order to be a friend, you're giving something, whether it's energy, time, mental space, you're giving something. How much to a friend are you thinking you could give in that way? And because I think this is one of my issues. I think I might give a little bit too much in these areas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So honestly, I do think that there's levels to these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in my little chronological order of associate, friend, and family, if you're in the friend box, energy wise, I care enough for your full well-being, right? Like I'm going to give the energy that you give me. It is 100% equal reciprocation.
Okay.
There is no extra.
Got it.
When you have migrated over to the family zone, there's a whole bunch of grace and I'm giving a little extra because I'm seeing and understanding a lot more of you. And you should be doing the same. It's still reciprocation going on. There's no I give all, you give nothing. There was a time, I kid you not, I'm a giver as a whole, right? And there will be a time where I was the one picking up the phone, checking on any and everybody. I'm always checking on, how you doing? What you got going? How is it going over there? What happened with this when this went down? Oh, I saw you posted this. You good? Always checking. Mm-hmm. Until one day I say, my phone don't ring. I can look at a call log and it's a lot of stuff on the call log, but you know how back in the day when you first got a cell phone, it would probably say green for outgoing, red for income, the little arrows be doing. I say, this ain't equalizing. This ain't equalizing. And I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was having a moment personally, and I was saying, man, what would happen if I never picked up the phone again? Yeah. Who would be so concerned about me that they would be like, yo, this girl used to call me at least once a week. It's been 3 weeks and I ain't heard from her. Yeah. Or I haven't seen a post. I haven't, who's going to be that concerned about you? And when I had that happen to me internally, I was like, yo, time out. Mm-hmm. Time out. I immediately was like, no.
Did you stop calling people?
I did at 100%. I did.
And what happened? How did that work out? How do you feel?
I figured out who was who.
Yeah. Okay.
And I put them in their proper spaces. So a lot of times we can masquerade a relationship that is not really there because you're doing all the work. It seems like it's there because those people are responding, right? Yeah. But a relationship is a two-way street. Absolutely. I don't care if this is friendship or romantic. It's a two-way street. And unless you are on a one-way, something needs to be coming back the other direction. And so I simply stopped. Yeah. And those that didn't call, they never got called back. Yeah. When they decided and realized that they never got called back and they decided to reach out, I simply explained the circumstances. Yeah. And I said, it's okay. I don't want you to feel like I hate you or that I don't like you in any capacity. You just showed me where my position was in your life.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. Sometimes we have to come to that realization. And then there were some people that was like, oh, no. That's not what I meant. Or that's not, I said, yeah, you got comfortable. You got comfortable in me doing it all. But what that told me was that I wasn't of any kind of priority in your life. And in friendships, there is something called priority. It doesn't matter that you're an adult and you have a life. We all understand that you have a life and you need to attend to it. But every relationship requires work.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think though that, and because it was a point when I was really upset about not a friendship not being seeming reciprocal, right? Mm-hmm. And I had another friend I was talking to about it, and she said something to me that has stuck with me. This was years ago. It stuck with me, and she said that, Morgan, you can't always expect you from other people. Right.
Facts.
And this really resonated with me. So, and it helped me a lot. It helped me feel better. And I feel like it helped save that friendship, because that friendship that I was talking about was on the way out. Because I felt like, but I really love this friend. I really do. And I was like, she hasn't done anything to me. It just seems like it's not reciprocal. I feel like I'm a good friend to her, but I don't know if she's necessarily a good friend to me. Feel like I'm giving. But that conversation that I had with the other friend really put it in perspective. And this brings me back to the comment you said, how I describe myself, unconditional understanding and love for people. I began to see that friend from a different set of eyes, where people can only show up and they can only show up at their capacity, at their level.
100%.
100%. So I really had to look and analyze. It takes some analyzing, do I really feel like she's showing up at her capacity? And if she is, then she's doing the best she can do. Now I get to decide, is the best she can do, does that work for me?
I'm willing to accept. Correct.
Exactly. And so because that person made that comment, I was able to look at that friend and say, you know what? She is doing the best she can do. And it's really not that bad. But I have to keep her in the category that she's in. And now that it's like I reset the expectation of that friend, and I don't get disappointed anymore, because it's like I already know how they're going to show up, and I watch the great ways that they show up instead of the ways that I was only focused on that made me feel like they weren't my friend. Does that make sense?
Yes, It makes a lot of sense. So for me, in that same retrospect of understanding that you cannot expect you out of other people, I 100% agree with that, right?
Yeah.
At the same time, I don't expect myself out of them. However, I do have some level of expectation regarding how they deal with me, right? Absolutely. So it's like, no, I'm not going to expect you per se to attend every function I throw. Right? Though I may show up to every function you throw, because that's who I am. No, I'm not going to be like, you don't even come to all of my functions, right? But as you mentioned, if her capacity is only to show up to 2 and you throw 7 a year, then you understand she's only going to show up to 2.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying.
So I 100% agree with that. I do think that there needs to be a level of honest conversation, though, right? And what I mean by that is it's okay for you to feel a certain type of way about the fact that they don't have the capacity to meet what you would desire as, from a level of a friend. Like if we're on this deep surface level, I kind of not even just expect, I desire for you to show up in certain spaces. The fact that you don't have the capacity to do so, I can give you grace in it, but you should still know how I feel. And the reason I want you to know how I feel is because if you ever gain any extra capacity, I want you to fill it with what I want.
I love that. I've never heard that one. I want you to fill it with what I want. If you ever gain any extra,
because I don't want you to think that me accepting you at your level and at your space is simply me saying it's all good.
Yeah.
This is all I want. When the reality is, if I got 7 events, I prefer you to be at all 7. I understand you only have the capacity for 2. But if you gain extra capacity to give me 4, I'm going to need you to be at all 4.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to need you to understand that I desire all 7.
So what do you ever believe that maybe we put too much pressure on the friendships?
So no, because see, I didn't provide the pressure. I said, if you gain it, right? Like if it so happens to come up. And I talk about capacity a lot because I feel like literally I was just talking about this, how we have capacity levels and we don't ever really understand what they are.
Yeah.
You feel overwhelmed because you did not do a capacity check before you decided to put that on your plate.
Yes.
So, and I talk about that from a self-love perspective, like know who you are and know what you can handle.
Yeah.
Before you decide to take on any and XYZ from any and everything, right? Like, I don't care what it is, work, family, friends, the whole kit and caboodle. I need to know, what can I handle so that I'm not overwhelmed. So I'm not asking the question, why can't I get this finished? Why can't I go do this? I don't want to do that. I should know, look, you got the capacity to do A, B, C, and D. And only fill your plate with A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I always use this example, and relationships to me are the same. I use exercise as an example, right? So you never been exercising before, or you used to way back when, and now you're getting back into it, whatever the case may be. It's day 1 at the gym. You see that Stairmaster, and you like, oh, I'm going to go do the Stairmaster. I'm going to get 30 minutes on this Stairmaster. And you only can do 3 minutes of them. Yeah. Because that capacity ain't there. You don't have that. You don't have the tenacity to make it to 30 minutes. So instead of going, oh, I'm going to do 30 minutes. Oh, no, I'm coming to do these 3 minutes. And then you continue consistently coming for these 3 minutes. That 3 minutes is going to expand to 5. Your capacity is going to increase. Them 5 minutes going to expand to 10. Them 10 going to expand to 15. Your goal was 30. So when we talk about friendship goals, like what's the goal? Where are we going? Where are we headed with this? Everybody is not to be in your life for forever. You know, people come for a reason and a season or a lifetime. You need to know what that is. And those are goal settings. You know what I mean? And it's okay to let people go. You don't have to keep them all.
Absolutely. You don't have to keep them all. And I guess thinking about the way you described it before, as far as friends and family, I've been sitting here thinking, and maybe my definition, when I say I don't lose friends, those people are my family members. I've already, those people that I'm talking about, I've just put them in the category. I call them friends because we're not blood related. Yeah. But really, they're in a category of family, because the people that I have in my brain, when I say that, they've been here. They're like sisters, literally. And that's why I said I could not talk to them for months, really, just like my own blood sister. If I never go that long, but if I did miss months talking to her, then when I see she's still my sister, the love is the same. The love is the feeling is the same. I still got your back the same. I'm still like, what you need. I feel the same way about the people that are in my mind when I tell you I don't lose friends. There's a set of people that I'm thinking about, and those people they're like family. Their mothers and sisters. I will go visit them, and they don't even have to be there. You know, so it is family. And people do, and I guess those people that you're saying everybody doesn't need to be in your life. I probably move them to a different category. Like, even if I still know them, it's no beef. I just probably you're just
Put
not
them in the balcony. Put them in the balcony.
Not over here anymore.
Put them in the balcony.
You just don't belong over here.
That part right there. Yeah. And that's my point, right? Like, wholeheartedly, you have to do friendship evaluations often. because alignment is key. This is what I mean when I say, what are your goals? You know, I shouldn't be in a relationship where people are not pushing me to be the best me.
Yeah.
And I'm not pushing them to be the best them. I don't need a yes corner. You know what I mean? You need people who are going to keep it real, don't care about hurting your feelings, but will not judge you. Like, that's my thing. Keep it all the way 100. Don't judge me. Let me be me. Encourage me to be me. And call me out when I'm not being me.
Yeah.
But when you have friends that are there for their own personal gain, their own ulterior motive, when they want something more than they want to give. Yeah, no. But it's like, how do you sift them out? How do you find the understanding that they're not there for you? And to me, the way you do that is knowing who the heck you are.
Absolutely. It takes self-awareness. You definitely have to know who you are and how you show up. Yeah. And what you bring to it. Because if you don't know you, how can you know who should be around you? How can you know what you need in a friend, in a relationship, and whatever that connection is? You have to know what makes you tick.
Yes.
And don't wait to get offended. You don't have to wait to get offended till things get ugly to say that person can't be around me. You know, you can watch this person's moves because you can see them doing something else that doesn't even have anything to do with you. And you're like, that is not going to work for me.
Because you are who you hang around.
Mm-hmm. Your associations matter. Mm-hmm. They absolutely matter. I do podcast runs, right? So I will record myself running and talking. And I give these little nuggets, little gems out of books and things that I read. And one of them was about your associations matter. Like, people hang with people and they're always with the same people doing the same things. And they wake up first of the year. Oh, I'm going to do this. Going to be my year. I'm going to do this. No, it's not. Because you with the same people doing the same things, talking about the same stuff. You're going to do the same thing you did last year, whatever that was.
Right. So, which actually brings me to a different point. So, like, I think friendship should be intentional. Right. Yeah. And a lot of times people think about it from a standpoint of networking. And what they say, your network is your net worth. And who's in your circle or in your surroundings kind of determine who you are and what you got going. Right. So I always feel like you should never be the smartest person in the room. If you're the smartest person in the room, you have a real problem. But you yourself should be looking for growth in that way. Right. And if your closest friends don't push you to do that same exact thing, you guys should not per se all be on the same level, but you might, right? Like, your super, super closest friends, like, you may all be on the same level, but you guys are probably doing 50 million different things, not the same thing. But everybody should have those extra higher level friends in their line. Like, what lane are you in? You know what I mean? Like, all of y'all ain't doctors. All of y'all ain't sitting up being like, what lane are you in? And if you guys all are doctors and that's the only friends you have, who's the higher paid doctor? Who's the surgeon? Who's connected to the business side over here that's going to help you guys create something, different and more? Like, you gotta have more.
Hey, hope you're feeling the love in today's episode. We'll pick back up where we left off in a moment. First, we're excited to share that Tammy has a collection of self-love t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, and journals for you to express how much you love yourself to the world. From comfy hoodies to motivational mugs, there's something for everyone. While you're listening to today's show, feel free to browse the full collection at IamTammyNicole.com. Thank you, and without further ado, let's get back into today's show.
Absolutely. I agree. Definitely have to have more. But do you believe that all has to happen in your close friend circle? Or can you also include, like, whatever connections, your networking connections? Because not every network connection you have is going to turn into a friend.
No, they're not. But those are buckets, right?
You trust them for that,
Yeah, I think that there's a bucket, though. But I also think that if they're really there has to see again, friend, associate, friend, and family.
Yeah.
That inner circle is family. They ain't friends.
Right.
So my network needs to be, I need to be friends. I need you to want my best interest at heart and not just my money. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I do need you to be on some level of friendship, because I don't want you sending me a bad deal.
Yeah.
I don't want you connecting me to the wrong connection.
I need you to
simply
care.
because you knew a person, right? Like, I want you to love me and care about me so much that if you got a connection for me, you vetted it before giving it to me.
Yeah. Because I'm not setting her up that way. I got to make sure she's good. As if it was me, right? Because I wouldn't.
Boom.
I got you. I wouldn't want a bad deal, so I'm not going to send a bad deal over here to my sis. I don't want that for her.
That part right there.
Yeah.
Or if you send something that you haven't vetted, that you would expose it. Hey, I just kind of saw this. I haven't done the vet work, but I know you in the mood to get something done fairly quickly. Let me, I'm sending it to you, but you need to vet it first.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that to me is not just a network partner, that's a friend, because you want me to succeed.
You want the best for your friend. Yeah. Sometimes I feel like that's a little hard to find in that space. I think that's a little hard to find. Not saying it's impossible, though. I think it is important to have that kind of friendship. But I haven't really seen where it's easy to build that kind of trust where you can do that kind of business with a friend. Because I'm always afraid. I'm going to tell you personally, I'm always afraid that when money gets involved, it's tough. And I'm always afraid that something is going to come along and ruin this friendship.
So that's an inner thing. Okay. I'm going to say work on it. Because the fears that we have that could like be reflected or projected out to other people are really inner fears. Yeah. It's something that you don't trust within you regarding that thing.
Okay. Something to think about.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's where it's stemming from, right? It's something you've either seen, heard, or witnessed that you said to yourself when you seen, heard, or witnessed it or participated in, I will never do that again, or I will never let so-and-so do that to me. So I am going to avoid intimate connection and money all in the same circle.
Yeah.
However, it's definitely easy to find. There's a group of men out in Atlanta that I just love. They call themselves like CEO something. It's like a group of them. Then they all do different things. Some of them somewhat similar, but they all multimillionaires that they pushed each other to get there.
Got it.
Yeah. Using their own networks. They do business together. They don't, you know what I mean? Like I love watching them from afar, and they help the community as a whole. And so it's definitely possible, but everybody can't have that inner, I can't mix business and pleasure type perspective, because who's better to do business with than the one you actually love and care about and want to see succeed?
Yeah, absolutely. The people that are closest to you.
Right. However, a lot of us have been tainted because there are people that are going to do you bad, but you can be done bad by a stranger.
Yeah.
People are people.
Level of expectation, though. Like if a stranger hurts you, it's almost like it feels like you're not let down as much if a stranger hurts you, because like I didn't know that person anyway, and the hurt doesn't seem as bad. But then if my brother lets me down, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. We forget they were human. We forget that you lose the human side of them, and you put the personal connection in front of their human capabilities, which is where we actually falter. However, it's still possible to have a healthy, thriving, successful business exchange with real family and friends. It's possible.
What does that look like? Does it look like being more proactive up front, talking about all the things and saying like, this could happen. So what are we going to do when this happens? That's what that
Yes.
sounds like. Like you got to really plan.
Yes, I was watching. There's a girl named Erica. I want to say it's Thompson, something like that. Don't kill me if you're listening. But she's in an educational consulting space. And she literally did a video about, I think it was her sister or a cousin or somebody. She said she would never do business with family. But the sister or the cousin had all the skill sets necessary and required for to take her business to the next level. And she had to let that I will never do business with family thing go.
You had to let it go.
Because the other thing you could be doing is stunting your own growth.
Absolutely.
Based upon a fear, based upon somebody else's experience, or even if it was yours. If you get out of a relationship and get into another, relationships end, they fall apart, they end, you still get out and go get in another one with somebody else. You risk every day being hurt. Yeah. Every day, because love is a risk.
Yeah.
There is it's a risk. It don't matter if it's the homie, the cousin, the sister, the significant other. It's a risk every day. But everybody has to always be on the same page. That's why I say it's important to check in. It's important to do friendship audits, relationship audits with whoever you're connected to, because you want to know, am I showing up for you the way you need it? And are you showing up the way I need it? Yeah. And what changes can be made?
Definitely communication. But you know what, Coach Tammy, so many people do not know how to communicate. They don't know how to plan and sit down and map it. And what is that? What is that? I think not just the not knowing how to plan, but actually having the conversation. People shy away from these conversations. So they'll get a great idea and they're like, okay, I'm going into business with my boy. Oh, I'm going to go into business with my sis. But they don't sit down and really talk about that. So then when they hit those roadblocks, they hit the wall. They didn't plan or talk about the wall. So now the emotions come in. And it's more like, oh, I can't believe you did that to me, right? And we start leading with the emotions instead of thinking with all the other tools that we use to even come up with the idea to do this, Right. Yeah.
And the reality of that is emotions are about you, but we tend to make them about the other person, right? Yeah. So we tend to react instead of respond. Emotions are regulators. They're about you, and you should be regulating your emotions. Yeah. You should be regulating. You should not be like trying to, you made me mad, so I'm like reacting and responding. You should be getting mad and then saying, wait, but why did that make me mad?
Yeah, that question really helps. Why is this bothering me?
Why? Why is this bothering me so bad? What in me is triggered by their behaviors? Yeah. And then regulate yourself and then respond accordingly. When we have what I call reactions to emotions, most of us are doing long-term damage for short-term feelings.
Yeah. I had someone tell me the other day that like she doesn't, it was on a social media post, and she was saying how, I find that I react or I feel bad when people give me unsolicited, like his family and friends give me unsolicited opinions. Because I was talking about being able to take feedback. Her response was, I get frustrated when family and friends give me unsolicited feedback, right? What I've learned, this is her talking, what I've learned is that I do not respect their opinion. I love them, but I don't respect their opinion. So my response to her was very similar to what you just said, is I think I need you to ask yourself, why are you so bothered by their unsolicited opinion if you don't value the opinion? I think there may be something within you that does value the opinion, and them giving it and it's negative is triggering something. Maybe you feel devalued by them. Maybe you want them to validate whatever decision you're making, but it feels like invalidation. But you can't really change what they're doing. You got to think about, like, why is this making me feel this way? So maybe the feelings that make me want to react won't happen. So I think that you can take that same thing and apply it to your friendships when you're
Yeah.
trying to do business together or make whatever together, and things happen to trigger you or bother you.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think a lot of times it's also the mere fact that she didn't ask for it may have been her real thing. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to give that. So then to me, it's like, you don't know how to communicate, because what you really should have did before telling the story is say, hey, I'm not looking for your opinion. I just need to say this.
Maybe tell them up front, hey, I don't need you to, that probably
Right.
would help. I don't really need your feedback. I just want to tell
Right.
you.
I'm not telling you this so that you can give me feedback. I'm just telling you this because I need to release it. And releasing it to you just, is what I feel like doing right now. I think a lot of times when we don't know how to communicate what we think and feel, we leave the door open for the trigger. You know what I mean? Like, I literally was talking to this guy that I'm dating, and I'm like, hey, when you do X, Y, and Z, this is triggering to me.
Yeah.
Now, I could have not said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I could just catch an attitude every time it happens. And then, boom, let's have the back and forth little argument, because internally I'm triggered. So you getting what you gave in a way, you know what I mean? But you don't even know that you've triggered me because I haven't communicated that you triggered me. And so I think a lot of times when we don't know who we are, it is very difficult to communicate with other people because you don't even know why something is happening. Yeah.
But sometimes people, like on the unsolicited thing, there's some people who it's just a part of their nature to give you
respond.
unsolicited advice. Right? It makes them feel better to give unsolicited advice. And it could be coming from a place where they don't ever really feel like they can give someone advice, or they don't feel listened to, or whatever's making them behave that way. So you might have to understand, you know what, this person gonna give me unsolicited advice. I love them, but I don't like that they tell me stuff when I don't ask for it. So you might need to make a decision. This is what I do. I'm not going to tell them because they're going to tell. I pick and choose what I'm going to tell this person because I know that they're going to give me feedback that I don't want.
Right. Yep. But I just think that we should stop assuming.
Yeah.
We really have to stop assuming. We have to learn to just simply do things how we feel as far as like what we know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not assume, like, don't assume that I understood X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Know that I didn't. You know what I mean? Or ask. It's nothing wrong with asking a question. I think a lot of times we are either afraid of what the answer is going to be. Some of us, I mean, like real talk, some of us have fear of the answers that are coming out of people's mouths.
Yeah. We
don't have the capability of saying they're just words.
Yeah. Because I was going to ask you, what is the fear? What are we fearing?
A lot of, but you do have people that do. They fear what's about to come out, and it's more about what they don't want to come out, right? It's like, it's almost like when you going after something, you want everybody to tell you yes because you're going after it. You don't want to hear the no.
You don't want them to stop. You don't want anybody to stop you. Like, I'm not going to talk to them.
I don't want to hear the no. So it's like, But it's that fear of what could they say? What will they say? What are the possibilities? And the reality is, who cares what they are? Just listen.
That also goes back to knowing yourself, because if you've made your mind up about this thing, you've done the work, and you know yourself, you know this is going to work for you, you can get feedback from someone and still be on your path because you're sure that this is going to work for me. This is what worked for me. I'm just sharing. Whatever you say is whatever you say. I'm just sharing.
Yeah. And then there are times where it's like, especially if you're talking to a friend about something that you really want to do, and it's like, this is what I really want to do, but they can talk you out of it.
Yeah.
If they can talk you out of it, you ain't sure who you are.
Yeah.
Because your relationships with people should not be built on what they want for you, but built on what you want for yourself, and let what they got going on be an aid. You know, it should be an additional additive to your life. It should not be subtracting. Now, granted, if you're about to run into a street and get burnt or hit by
I
a
was
train,
about to say
like,
that. This does not mean neglect good counsel. There's something called good counsel.
okay, so you make wise decisions.
Yes.
But if they are just automatically downgrading, discounting, no real like evidence-based substance of why they saying no, and it's just because they don't think it's a good idea, ma'am, sir, no, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because your vision is your vision, and vision is important. That's what. So when we talk about building solid relationships, what's the vision for that friendship? What is it? What's the goal? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. What are we doing?
We should not be just existing in it. I shouldn't just be your friend because I met you in kindergarten.
Right. We're not just staying friends because we met in kindergarten. Exactly right. It's got to be.
It needs
like,
to have some level of substance.
Got to have some substance, because if those people that I was talking about, there was no substance, I probably wouldn't even be thinking of them right now. It's a bunch of people I've known since kindergarten, and I know where they are now. They aren't my friends. But there are some that, the ones that I'm talking about, that we locked in. And it's because of the substance that comes along with that. I can tell them things, and I know it's with them. They're going to tell me when I'm wrong. I got this one particular friend that she is not going along to get along. She is not. She is just, if I'm telling her something that went on, and I'm like, he said this or she said that, I'm telling her, and I'm frustrated. She'll stop me mid-sentence and say, yeah, but Morgan, maybe. She's not just the yes friend. She's not going to just agree with everything that's coming out of my mouth. And I love that about her. She's also my road dog. I'm telling you, the best travel buddy ever. When I tell you, she's ready to go. Anytime I'm ready to go, she's ready to go. And she's going to be like, we are so aligned when we go on trips. She's like, you want to go here? Yeah. If not, there's some people you can't travel with. She's a travel buddy.
What I said in the beginning, you go on the girl trip and your relationship dismantles.
Yeah, dismantled. That a trip will tell you, though. A trip will tell you if that's your girl. So, but sometimes you got to put them in a category too and say, you know what, I can't travel with her. I cannot travel with her. But this particular friend I'm talking about, ready to go. I can travel with her all day, anywhere.
And that's what you need. But when you are like wanting to build relationship, build friendship, do it intentionally, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna let you tell the people, give them some tips of what either, do I want to say how you build these friendships, or do I want to say what to look for to know if you have one of these friendships? That's a good one. How can you tell if you have a real friend or a foe?
Oh, that's a good question. But maybe it's a little bit of both of what you said. I mean, you said a lot of things, a lot of great things. And I think the one thing that you said was self-awareness that I want to put at the top here. You have to be aware of yourself before you can start deeming friends or foes, You have to know who you are, to know what you need in order to see, and in order to see what's in someone else, right?
Yeah.
So I think get really self-aware. We got it, because we got a lot of people around here that think they're self-aware and they're not. We're all at different levels of self-awareness. So I challenge people to really get to know yourself. And in order to do that, you got to spend some time with yourself, right? Can't be afraid to be alone. You can't be afraid to be without those friends or a boyfriend or whatever. And there's so many people walking around here who's never spent time alone. They don't even know who they are. So that's why they can't choose good friends. They wonder why friendships breaking up all the time. You don't even know who you are. Right. And so I would suggest first get to know you before you start trying to figure out who your friends are. Then after you spend some time doing that, or you feel like you're already there, if you are pouring more into this friendship than you are getting out of it, you are expelling more energy and you don't feel like any of it is reciprocal. Now, I'm not saying this person has to be exactly like you. You cannot expect you out of another person, because y'all are individuals. But if you feel like you are drained from them friendship, I would start questioning from that friendship.
Yeah.
I would start questioning whether or not you have a friend, or whether or not you even have an associate, because I am an advocate for not letting anything anything drain you. Okay. So even if it's an associate, any type of acquaintance, you might have to let that go. And if there's always constant excuses for why they're not showing up, or, they have trouble with the feedback, you can't communicate with this person, they're probably not your friend.
Yeah.
Probably not your friend. I had to tell somebody the other day, I felt like they did something to me really dirty. And they were like, but I thought we was friends. And I said, there's no way. There's no way you thought we were friends, because nobody in my friendship circle would do what you did. Mm-hmm. That was powerful to me, because literally the thing that happened, nobody in my friendship circle has ever done anything to disrespect me in that way. And I don't think they would ever would. And if they did, they could no longer be considered my friend. So I'm saying that because if you are wondering if a person is a friend or foe, if you feel any type of conviction on that level, that person is probably not your friend. You need to reconsider that.
Yeah.
Stop letting any and everybody in your circle just because you're afraid to be alone.
Correct.
Or you're afraid to spend time by yourself. Evaluate some of these things and decide, is this person my friend? But before you can do that, you got to know yourself, know what you expect.
Yeah.
And stick with that.
100% agree.
Yeah. Yes.
The only thing I'm going to add is set yourself some boundaries.
Absolutely.
So when you know who you are, so after you do all that self-awareness, set boundaries, healthy boundaries that have consequences when broken. Yeah. Because a boundary with no consequence is just something you just putting it out there. It's just, this is what I think I should have said.
Well, not even put it out there.
It's like, it sounded good. I heard so-and-so said it sound good. Yep. Mm-hmm. But you have to set the boundary with yourself first before you can set it with others.
Yeah.
If you don't have boundaries for you, there's no way in the world you're going to have a boundary for me.
Absolutely.
So everything starts with you.
Everything.
Bottom line, you want a healthy friendship, you got to be a healthy person. And you have to be a friend in order to have a friend.
Yeah.
And so I want to thank you, Morgan, for joining me, because this was an amazing conversation. So I love that. I know that you do things on your own. If you have some social media or anything like that you want to share with the people for them to be able to stay in contact with you, please do so.
Absolutely. I am the host of the People Power Project podcast. You can find that podcast on YouTube. You can also find me on TikTok under the People Power Project. I'm the CEO and owner of Morgan Carey Consulting Solutions. The whole point of the People Power Project in Morgan Carey Consulting Solutions is to help leaders be better leaders. I feel like people should love where they work more. And one of the reasons people don't love where they work is because they don't like who they work for. And I specifically work with Black women because we have this plight to work and lead through heartache, trials, tribulations. And sometimes people will, unfortunately, I've heard people say, I will never work for a Black woman. And that's heartbreaking to me. So what I do is I help businesses develop leaders so they can retain top talent. And I help top talent develop themselves so they can be retained, specifically talking about our beautiful Black sisters.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
So you guys know how to reach her. Please reach out if you need her services. Remember, if you would like coaching, if you want to reclaim your power, send me an email at coaching@IamTammyNicole.com. It has been a pleasure. Transform your life. And remember, love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus. Have a good one.
That's a wrap on another episode of Loving Me Before I Love You. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a second to show your support by subscribing and leaving a positive rating and review on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Stay connected with Tammy. Make sure you're following her on Instagram and TikTok at Coach Tammy Nicole. If you like to work with Tammy or have any questions you'd like her to answer, please head over to www.IamTammyNicole.com. Until next time, always remember to love yourself so much that the love from others is a bonus.